Good evening. This is the Elliott Wave update for the S&P 500 for Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. Picking up where I left off last night, I had left in the detail section, so I wrote about it, that I said for today, the S&P still needed to make clear whether the minor wave 2 was complete, and if it was, where. So the upside picture coming into today continues to suggest that the 3950 high, right there, completed wave A of minor 2, with the low at 3741, right there, completing minute wave B of minor 2. Now, if this was the case, that the S&P would carry potential to rally back to 3860, 3900, 3938, 3967, etc. And ultimately, the target could be above 3992 to 4000. And that would be to complete the C wave of this minor 2. Well, after today's action, we got the head fake that's like, oh, we're done. That this was the minor 2. We're heading lower. We're gone. And I'm dropping right down to that hourly chart so I can show you that. It's not as clear on the daily. It's more clear here. Here we go. This was yesterday during the Globex. We had to race up. Maybe that completed it. This is 1. This is a 2. We're going to drop off, and then it goes. Now, again, remember, if this is minute A of minor 2, then all of this down to here, or possibly down to here, was minute B of minor 2. All right. So here you have minute A, and then we have a subminute A, a subminute B, a subminute C to complete the minute B wave. Now we're going to do the C wave up. Not as clear over in the NASDAQ as it is here, but very well could be. And if that's the case, C wave ended in failure. The buying was very strong today. That much I will give you. And the indications that we were going were also pretty clear. Once we started to break above that, and once we got above the 8, it was pretty clear because the next bar broke above the 20, the 50, and the 200 before cresting, flattening, and then doing one more shove. So with all of that in mind, we now are in a position where we have to leave open. First of all, we have 3860, which we've not gotten to. So that's still out there. 3900 is still out there. 3967. So we got 38, and then we need to get above 3950. So our next resistance is 3967. So I had 6867. And once that's in, then this could be a C wave. That's going to be an ABC. This is going to be C. Now, if we had to look at, we have, again, going back out to the daily, you're going to see how I have included these fibs, which are for the C wave. Back down. So back to that hourly. So we have this little bit larger C wave. We can map it out. It looks like we will continue 3862, 3900. These should be hit. The only other count that becomes available doesn't necessarily fit. But if I had to conclude that this was the minor 2 completion here, and this was 1 of minor 3, 2 of minor 3, and 3 is beginning, and that rally, this will be decimated tomorrow. That's the only other choice. So it really is leaning more in favor of upside. Because again, if I couldn't come up with a, I do have a particular thought process behind what was creating that inflow of capital into the markets today. And it fits that at the beginning of each month, we still have enough people out there making money that they commit a certain percentage of their paycheck to a 401k. And so the 31st was or the 30th of June was last Thursday, Friday being the 1st. Time to put in new money. And so if you put your orders in for execution, you start on that Friday, but then the next trading day was today. So it makes sense that it just built up, and all of these orders sat waiting to move into S&P stocks. And the S&P future, in turn, decides to take a hike north. Now, nothing out of the ordinary. I still don't see any evidence to get economically bullish, interest rate bullish, things of that nature. No, that's not been resolved. So this is just a shifting of money, and it's now affecting our markets as it does. The bonds were up. There were a lot of other things that were up. What was not up was gold. Gold was not up at all. So, but it too is going through correction. Another conversation. I'll update those things at another time. In any case, back to the S&P. I think that we may see continued upside. We might get a little bit more of a pullback here. And again, pullbacks, if we're going to demonstrate weakness and the market's going to start to slide in the other direction, here's what we got to see. First of all, I'd like to see it complete this whole thing. And that would be that we get above yesterday's Globex opening high, basically, at 38.58. So 38.60 to 38.62 definitely in the books. And that would only cover us if then I don't see it necessarily that I can get 5 waves out of that. And it's pretty sloppy up to this point. And all of this and all of this. So I'm leaving it as this is a C-wave failure. This is A, this is B. This is the minute A of minor 2, bing, 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 minute B of minor 2. We're in the C wave, and that C wave should continue. That is my thought process. If it doesn't, and it fails yet again and starts to drop, it would have to break below this 200 SMA, the simple moving average, and then the 200 EMA, and then the 50 moving average, the 20. Those need to break and keep going. Right now, they're kind of flat as it, market's kind of just hanging out waiting. So they got flat, but they should be broken. And the market should just continue. So in other words, it needs to take back all of that. If this indeed is going to be like, that's it, 1, 2, 1, 2. So the second it goes above here, then it's the C wave. So we don't have all that much. 38.58, and we're sitting right now at 38.34. It's not all that much for an upside move. And as soon as it broke, that was it. Then this count is no longer valid. Then it's the C wave, and that's the B wave, et cetera. I know I'm moving that mouse too fast. So that's where we are. Now, we have that C wave, we have our downside. I'm going to look for that upside movement. That doesn't mean that I won't trade downside, but it has to make itself evident. It has to show that that is what's going to be taking over, that the sellers are back and they're also just moving money that's coming out. So maybe today was new money and tomorrow it could be redemptions. I don't know. And so I'm not going to speculate in that area. So we have an upside, we have a downside. The daily chart certainly has upside room via the momentum and the stochastic momentum index. So I'm going to leave it right there. We have our upside scenario, which is the one I'm favoring at the moment. We have a downside and what we need to see in order to kick it into high gear. Our next update will be on Wednesday, the 6th of July.